Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Paris and I'm the author of the Magi trilogy. Book 1, The Magi, and Book 2, Illusion of Fear, are available now. And soon, the third and final installment in the Magi trilogy, Belle Destine, will be out for you guys to read as well, August 25th. In today's video, I want to share 3 ways to publish on a budget without cutting corners and cutting the quality of your work. Because the reality is when you publish on a budget, there are times like throughout the process where you come a little close to cutting corners. So I want to share with you how to budget without doing that. I have my own experience doing this. I published both of my books on a tight budget. Didn't cost that much to publish either of them. I worked really hard to make that possible, and I'm going to tell you guys how I did it. The first piece of advice I have is to do your research, and I'm not talking a simple Google search. I don't mean what's the cheapest way to publish a book or what's the cheapest way to get a book cover. I'm telling you to explore your options, do intense research for it. What I did when I was doing my pre-order packages for Illusion of Fear is I went onto one site and then I put in kind of the design I wanted for the bookmarks. And then I went to another site and I put the design in, and I went to another site and then I went and I looked at all of the different costs. What does it cost to do it on this site? What does it cost to do it on this site? Then I looked at the quantity. If I'm getting, I think I got I want to say 108 bookmarks for it, and that was a better deal than getting a package of 50 of them, which is more what I needed. If you get them in a larger quantity, you might get a better deal for them. It'll be easier to get your money back depending on how you're selling them, what the price is. There's a lot of different aspects of it. Do your research, explore your options, and take advantages of discounts. There are places out there that have discounts for first-time buyers. There's people who, if you sign up for their newsletter or whatever, you can get access to other deals. If you go in person, like I did when I was getting my first hard copy of the Magi, is I did it in person and I explained what I was doing, and the guy there actually helped me get kind of the cheapest deal possible. He's like, okay, what's the thickness of the paper you want? If you go to this paper, it's actually like a cent less a page, and that adds up. Do your research, explore your options. The second way to publish on a budget is to do as much by yourself as you can. Now, this is where you can get, on a bit of a slippery slope. This is where you get close to cutting corners, because just because you can doesn't mean you should. Technically speaking, you could sketch a cover on paper, take a picture of it, and put it on the cover of your book. That might work for some people. That might genuinely work. But it probably won't work for most people. So just because you can doesn't mean you should. There is a reality that there's a reason why we hire an editor, there's a reason why we hire a formatter, book cover designer, and anything else. If you're doing sketches inside your book, if you're doing some sort of special formatting method, if you're doing a pre-order package type of thing, just because you can doesn't mean you should. That being said, there are areas where you can do more. If you do extra edits yourself, if you really do a lot of additional intense edits, you might only need to hire somebody to do copy edits versus line edits, which tend to cost a bit more because it's a lot more work on the editor's end. If you have the ability, if you are a great artist, you might be able to do your cover by yourself, or you might be able to do certain aspects of the cover by yourself. Maybe you have somebody do the art, but you're the person who kind of puts I don't even know how to describe it, the words on the cover. Maybe you teach yourself how to format. That's something I did. That's something that depends on kind of the software you previously have on your computer. I do it on Microsoft Word. It is a bit of a pain to do at times on Microsoft Word. I personally like to do it because I've always been into that type of thing. I've taken a lot of computer classes on how to do graphic design and stuff like that before. So it depends on your background. It depends on the situation. It depends what availabilities you have. But if you can do more by yourself, it is more work on you, but it will save you money. The third way to publish on a budget is, just like anything else in life, learn from your mistakes. Don't make the same bad investment more than once. I have a good example of this actually with the Magi, is I printed out the hard copy of it. It was supposed to be around $45. The worker who helped me actually ended up getting the price down to about $30. So I thought I got this great deal, and I did. I totally 100% did. However, I found out later that you can get, your proof copies on KDP or, any other publishing site that you're using. There's proof copies everywhere for them. They're a fraction of the cost. I think technically too, Barnes & Noble has a printing option too, that you could print kind of your personal copies of it. Those were a little more expensive than KDP when I was exploring all of the different options for it, like I was sharing for the first tip. weigh everything, figure out what it would cost to print here, what it would cost to print there, what it would cost to print at this other place, pick the best option to publish on a budget, which in my case was KDP. And also there was a big quality difference as well. It's, bound versus I got a bunch of loose leaf pages, and Illusion of Fear is 30,000 words more than the Magi, which is a huge difference. Might not necessarily sound big if you're not on the writing pole of it, but as a writer, 30,000 words that's a lot of words, It's a lot to add to it, and it adds to the cost. So learn from your mistakes. Don't make the same bad investment multiple times. Publishing is an investment that comes out of your own wallet. And when it comes to publishing a book, you want to put the absolute best version into the world that you can. So budgeting is an option and it is doable, but there's certain points where that budgeting should be more of an investment. What is it that you're investing in your book? If you have a specific cover artist in mind whose work costs a lot more than others, that's worth it. And not saying don't go for whatever the best is. Now, best could be what costs $50, best could be what costs $500. At the end of the day, publishing is an investment, so you need to pick where you're putting your money. If the cover is really important to you, and maybe that's the aspect of the book that you're like, there's no way I can do it myself, it's really important, I know this artist, they cost a little more, but they put a lot of time into their work, they have phenomenal stuff that I've seen them produce in the past, I want them to do my book. That's worth it. That is absolutely 100% worth it. You will get your money back. And even if you don't right away, it's worth it to invest in what is the best for your book. Whether it's maybe you have a really good editor in mind and you're like, there's no way I can edit my book myself. I really struggle with grammar. I need somebody to do intense line edits on it. That's worthwhile. That is a worthwhile investment in your book. There's a difference between budgeting and investing in that they kind of work together, but at the end of the day, they both have the same aspect of what is best for the book. Is it best at this part of the book to budget a little bit, or is it better to make a deeper investment? Or what part of it can you budget on versus what part should you really just do the full investment on? Your personal hard copy for edits that you're going to be scribbling up doesn't necessarily need to be the absolute best quality. What you're actually producing for others to see, that's where it needs to be good. So keep in mind, where should you specifically budget and where should you invest? And where do they kind of meet in the middle? Thank you for watching this video. I hope it kind of helped encourage you to know that it is possible to budget. It absolutely is. I've done it. I'm planning on doing it again, and it's worth it. But I've also made quite a few investments in my books that are 100% without a doubt worthwhile. Thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And remember, whatever time it is, whether it's morning, evening, or night, have a good day.